What up, Gacha gang? Today we are talking about Magnum Quest. I am not sponsored in any way, shape, or form to cover Magnum Quest, though honestly, after reviewing this game, I think I would take a sponsorship if they're looking to promote, because I think that's one thing really holding them back. So as always, guys, a 5 means it's an industry average. It does not mean that it's a bad. This is not the American grading system. A 70 is not passing. A 70 is actually excelling. A game ends with a 7 or above on something, that means that I think it's at the top tier of the industry. So with that said, let's get right in. Now, the first thing that everybody's going to look at with Magnum Quest is how closely does it resemble AFK Arena. AFK Arena is by far the largest idle game on the market. You cannot crawl to a corner of the internet where they are not marketing that game. But we will get closer to how exactly this compares to it in the uniqueness section. So just know that this is pretty close to AFK Arena. So if you don't prefer AFK Arena's type of gameplay, you're not going to really like Magnum Quest. Graphic wise though, I think this game really excels. This almost has a Raid Shadow Legend level of graphics to it, with a bit of a tabletop feel to it. I was actually really enjoying the tabletop feel to it, where they have all the different pieces, mounted to little bases, and they're kind of moving them around as if they're tabletop pieces for Warhammer or something like that. I actually really dig that vibe that the game was pushing forward. It made it feel more casual while the battle sequences could still feel as intense as something like Raid did. I really enjoyed the graphics in this game. I don't think a lot of their character designs are that unique, and I don't really think that they're portraying anything that interesting from the graphics point of view, but it is, like, from a polygon count and the animations and how things are being pushed forward, the graphics are really well done in this game. AAA quality, I would say. So a 7, I would say, is the lowest that this could ever get, and that's why I'm putting it at a 7. Now, if we look at story, it's next to non-existent. They do try to put a story forward to you, but honestly, I stopped reading it. Though, the one thing that I was giving to the only thing that's keeping this from being lower at a 1 or even a 0 is the fact that you actually have to read some of the adventure dialogue to understand what you need to do in the adventure. I personally like that. I enjoyed the fact that I got stuck because I stopped reading and just kept hitting the skip button, and then I was like, wait, what the heck? Why can't I get some of this treasure? Yeah, it was in the dialogue the whole time. I like that. I like when they reward you for paying attention, even though I don't. Progression for an AFK game, progression is the tried and true thing that keeps you there. They constantly know how to hit you with that dopamine hit and want you getting more. Progression is at an 8, as with most of these AFK games. The reason it doesn't get higher is because the dupe system in all of these games, I mean, that is how they make their money. It is not very enjoyable. You definitely are handicapped. And I would say that because you have to get a certain amount of dupes of a character before you can actually improve their max level, that's pretty freaking lame. But overall, you are going to enjoy playing this game for the first 40 plus hours while you're trying to get your characters to max level that they can actually get to based on the amount of dupes that you have, yada, yada, yada. So that's there for it. As a free-to-play player, 40 plus hours of gameplay that you're really enjoying is really daggone good. So I gave it an 8 out of progression. Looking at the gameplay itself, it's nothing new here. We see a lot of these auto battlers come forward. I think they do pretty well. I liked some of the animations, even though I don't think that they did that great with like the cutscenes and making the skills feel very unique. I thought there was enough strategy here, and the reason why there is enough strategy is because it actually is carbon copying a lot of the skills and characters directly from AFK Arena, which in my opinion has a lot of strategy for an AFK game. So that's why the gameplay actually plays high, but that's also why you see in the uniqueness it is a 5. Honestly, I think you could talk me down for the uniqueness being lower, but when I'm playing Magnum Quest, I feel like I'm playing Magnum Quest, and that is always one of the key things that I look for in a game, even though it feels so similar to AFK Arena, and the fact that I can actually know what the characters in AFK Arena do, and it actually rewards me in this game, which is a very negative thing from a uniqueness point of view. I can't walk away from this and feel like I'm just playing AFK Arena. It still feels like Magnum Quest to me. And if a game can give me that feeling that it feels unique, it deserves to be rated uniquely, even if all logic defies that. And that's kind of the case I'm giving here. I feel like a 5 is at the top end of the uniqueness cycle. So something like story and graphics could be higher. I don't think uniqueness could actually get much higher. Now, if we're looking at monetization, this is one of the main things that people look at from an AFK type of game, an idle game, so to speak. Monetization in these games is actually really poor because you need so many dupes. The good thing that I would say about the monetization is that the game does give you quite a lot of stuff to play around with, and they're really good at giving you roles and things of the sort, but just not enough. You will constantly be handicapped by the amount of blue little crystal thingies you have, the gold that you have, the amount of dupes that you have. You're constantly going to be tempted to push more money into the game. The pack offering there is probably on the better side of AFK games, I would say. But overall, this game very much feels like they are putting a pinch on your wallet. And for the monetization to be higher to a 10, it kind of needs to feel like I'm actively choosing that I want to reward the developers, not the game is putting me behind paywalls, which I kind of feel like Magnum Quest really is doing. So the monetization could surely get better, but I think that does come down to their marketing performance and how easily they are to capture retention from the player base. If their retention rate is pretty low and they're not able to convert based off their current marketing schemes, which I don't really agree with, by the way, because every single day is a new day, or the first day of server launch according to these people, so that's really lame. But anyways, I think that they can't really afford to do much different on the monetization if they're failing at the marketing side of things. Now, for the community, it is currently at a 5 out of 5. I think that that's actually probably on the high end, but because it's a newish game, we are going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say that we are going to give it the benefit of the doubt and think that it can grow, but it honestly could go down. I think that if Magnum Quest switched up a little bit of their KPIs and the way that they market things, the community could definitely get better. I think with games like this, you need a well-rounded community for it to excel, and investing in that community more than new players is probably the right way to go. So I'm putting it at a 5 for this, which in total rounds the entire game out to a 5. I did not do that on purpose. This was exactly how it came out. But as I mentioned earlier, we could actually make the graphics slightly higher, the uniqueness slightly lower, the monetization and community could also be higher if they just kind of changed the way they looked at things. And overall, I think it has the capability of overthrowing AFK Arena as the best idle game, but I think a little bit of the ways that they are handicapping themselves to benchmark against AFK Arena is holding it back. There is a lot of ways that I could actually see this game being unique, marketing itself in a unique way within this niche, and capturing a good share of the idle market, which would obviously be a lot more profitable than I would imagine their current retention is looking like. Overall, I think that if you're looking for a new idle game, Magnum Quest is going to be the #1 thing I recommend to you. It's probably the best idle game I have seen released onto the market for a very long time. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Peace.